Andrade. Here's why these dudes are so scared of Demetrius Andrade, right? These dudes are really scared of Demetrius Andrade because not only is Demetrius Andrade one of those slick fighters, not only is he super slick and he can pot shot you and counter punch you all night, not only is he a slick fighter that has the ability to do that, but the thing about it is he doesn't do that. Demetrius Andrade actually prefers to beat you the fuck up. That's why I really don't get why there's so many people out here who hate on Demetrius Andrade, because that guy goes out of his way to not only win, but beat you the fuck up. He doesn't want to win. He wants to beat you the fuck up. He's going to throw a bunch of punches. They're all going to be accurate. They're all going to be sharp. Okay. And then while he's throwing a bunch of punches and hitting you, you're not going to be hitting him. You're not going to be touching him, because those long arms and that distance and that length is just going to give him a huge advantage. That slickness, that boxing ability, you're not going to be able to hit him. But while you're not hitting him, he's going to beat you the fuck up. And a good example of that is Andrade versus Brian Rose. I've never seen anybody get beat the fuck up as bad as I saw Brian Rose get beat the fuck up by Demetrius Andrade. Definitely one of the top 5 ass whoopings I've ever seen in my life. For sure. White Play On says Andrade versus Jermell or Jamal Charlo. Those would be great fights. Those would be really, really, really great fights. But those to me would be chess matches. You know what I'm saying? Those would be more like chess matches. You know what I mean? Terry Smoot, shout out to you, my boy. Jerry Smoot says, hit that like button, family. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, Terry. Yes, sir. But yes, back on point. So, Andrade versus Charlo would be more like a chess match. It'd be more like a chess match because Charlo doesn't throw too many punches. Charlo's going to be very conservative about the amount of punches that he's throwing. He's going to be looking to knock out Andrade, while at the same time Andrade's going to be throwing a bunch of punches, more than likely hitting him with a bunch of punches. But you're not going to see Jermell do too much. Andrade versus Triple G would be a better fight. It would be a better fight, entertainment-wise. I think Jamal Charlo versus Andrade or Jermell Charlo versus Andrade, that would be a bigger fight. That would mean more. But as far as a better fight, Triple G versus Andrade would be a better fight. Terry Smoot says Andrade is too slick of a mover. And also Terry Smoot says Andrade can move, he can stick, he can move. Yes, sir. We were just talking about that. Yes, sir, Terry. Andrade can stick and move, man. He can get in and get out of here. But not only can he stick and move, Andrade is going to hit you with 35 punches in about 2 seconds. He throws a lot of punches and they're all accurate. So not only can he fight off his back foot and be slick, but he can also outpoint you and just hit you a lot and beat you the fuck up. And that's why these dudes don't want to fuck with Andrade, because they're two of the styles he can fight. He fights two of the styles that people don't like. Earlier in the stream, I said Canelo doesn't like slick fighters, and he doesn't like fighters that throw punches and bunches. He doesn't like those kind of fighters. He doesn't like fighters that throw a lot of punches like that. Because if you see, Amir Khan was actually beating Canelo until he got knocked the fuck out. Amir Khan was actually beating Canelo until he got knocked the fuck out. If that fight would have went on like that with Amir Khan, Canelo would have lost. Easily. He easily would have lost. So can you imagine somebody like a Demetrius Andrade throwing as many punches as Amir Khan, just as sharp, but also being able to not get hit and not get knocked out at the same time like Amir Khan got knocked out? Because Andrade actually has a pretty decent chin as far as what we can see. We don't really know because people can't touch him. But that would be a very hard night for Andrade. So that's the kind of style that people fear. People fear that style. Terry Smoot says, GGG doesn't want these young black champs, youth and power. He doesn't. He's been running for years now. He has no shame at this point. We know what the deal is with GGG. We know what it is. GGG is looking for his last Canelo fight, and he's probably gonna retire. We know exactly what it is, Terry. GGG is waiting on this last Canelo fight, and then he's out of there. You know what I'm saying? He figured he gonna line up all bums until Canelo comes back around. That's what GGG doing. You know what I'm saying? I would be shocked if GGG decided to fight anybody who we cared about. White Play On says, Andrade. Terry Smooth says, Amir Khan was all up on the scorecards until his chin got touched. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once that chin was touched, it was a short night. It was a very short night once that chin got touched. Yes, sir. Terry Smooth says, Andrade is a bad style matchup for a lot because of his punches and combos with movement, and he's 6'1", and he's a big middleweight. Yes, sir. 100%, Terry. 155%. That is a bad matchup for a lot of dudes. That's why people don't want to see Demetrius Andrade. Because not only can he outpoint you, but if he wanted to, he could be slick and pot shot you to death. If he wanted to. White Play On says, how do you compare Andrade's style to Lara? So here's the thing. Lara is half of what Andrade is, right? Lara is very slick, and he's a very good counterpuncher. That's pretty much what he does. He's slick and he's a counterpuncher. Okay, but ultimately, you're not going to find Lara throwing more than 2 punches at a time. Lara's not going to throw more than 2 punches at one time. He's going to throw 1-2. That's it. He's going to throw 1-2. That's it. And he's going to move. That's what Lara's going to do. That's what Lara is going to do. Andrade is going to hit you with 4 or 5 punches at one time. Andrade is going to slip your jab, throw a hook, throw a left hook to the body, throw a right hook to the body, throw a right hook to the head, and then a straight right hand. He's going to do all that. Lara's not doing all that. Lara is not doing all that. Not by any means. You know what I'm saying? Lara's going to hit you with that 1-2, and he's out of there. He's running. He's gone. He's on the other side of the ring. So, yeah, man, very, very different styles. Andrade, if he wanted to, he could fight like Lara. As a matter of fact, his fights would probably go a lot easier if he did. But Andrade is just not under that. He's not under that mindset that Lara is. Lara is under that Cuban militant style where, you know what I mean, where you just have that one style and you fight that way and that's how you fight. Andrade is like, I'm going to beat you the fuck up. I'm going to beat you the fuck up. If shit get rough, maybe I might do with a little bit of what Lara does, but ultimately I want to beat you the fuck up. Terry Smooth says, this is true. Punches, combos, and bunches versus pure counterpuncher. Yes, sir. 100%. White Play On says Andrade is a problem. Yes, sir. Very much a problem. That's why these dudes don't want to see him. That's why these dudes don't want to see him. These dudes don't want none of Andrade. Not none. not none. You know what I mean? Terry Smooth says a conservative counterpuncher versus a slick counter-aggressive fighter. Yeah. Lara is very conservative. You know what I'm saying? It would be like, even when Lara fought Canelo, Lara could have beat Canelo. A lot of people think Lara beat Canelo. Okay, but Lara could have really solidified that win if he would have put some punches in, if he would have put a few more punches in there. He could have really solidified that win if he would have threw a few more shots. If he would have made it a 1-2-3-4 instead of a 1-2 and moving about the way. Now, Canelo was real dangerous because Canelo was looking for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a style that Lara is used to fighting. And Lara is not trying to take any kind of risks in fights. But that's how you're going to beat Canelo. You're not going to beat Canelo by throwing 1 or 2 punches. Even if you win the fight, you're not going to win the fight on the scorecards because Canelo is, you know what I mean? We're not doing the politics shit tonight. But you got to beat Canelo in order to beat Canelo. Resurrected Soul says Andrade is more versatile than Lara. I need to go back and watch more of his fights. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A good fight to watch. I'm gonna give you two to watch from Andrade. Watch Andrade versus Brian Rose. That was a good fight to watch. That was a good fight to watch simply because he just beat Brian Rose the fuck up. Okay, and another good fight to watch from him is Andrade versus Vanez Matarosi. That was another good fight for him because he was tested a little bit in that fight. He got dropped in that fight. Versus Matarosi. Okay, but still came back and won the fight. So that says a lot. Somebody that get dropped, still come back and win convincingly. On top of that,